time for entertainment, and the General herself is here. I really missed you.
I miss you too, Araba. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
So
looking resplendent in red.
Thank you very much. So if I ask you to mention the gospel musicians you know across the globe, okay, no, in West Africa, tell me.
Joe Beecham is one, Ghanaian Joe Beecham. Amy Newman. Okay,
so you're mentioning, so from back in the day, let's talk about the contemporary musicians we have now.
Okay. Nathaniel Bassey is one. A lot of them, in fact, I do know the songs, but I don't know the names of the
I'm glad that you mentioned Nathaniel Bassey. He's Nigerian, and we know that even as we are preparing towards Adum Praise, we are expecting Priye, who is Nigerian as well. We are expecting Steve Crown, who is Nigerian. Now, Sonnie Badu is a UK-based Ghanaian gospel artist. If you talk about the contemporary gospel musician, he falls in that league. And he's been blaming men of God here in Ghana for the slow progress of Ghanaian gospel music. Now, he talks about the fact that the Nathaniels, the Sinach, Frank Edwards, and all the big names you hear in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, Sinach is one of my favorites.
Exactly. They become great because their men of God held them, placed them on their pulpits, minister to people, and the congregation begins to buy into their ministry and spread the word. So like Sinach, Frank Edwards, there are lots of them who belongs to Chris Oyakhilom's church. Yes. And then the Nathaniel Bassey belongs to Redeemed Christian Church. We have Sonny Oposu, who is from House on the Rock with Pastor Paul Adefarasin. So he's talking about the fact that how many Ghanaian pastors put their ministers on platforms to let them minister to the congregation and say, henceforth, we are not bringing any minister from outside our church to minister to us, but we want to build what we have. So here's what he said when he went live yesterday on Facebook.
Let's move to Ghana. You have my brother Joe Metto rising, and what Ghana doesn't realize is that the award Joe won as the Artist of the Year was not just Joe that won it. It was the whole of Ghana Gospel that won it, because for many years, Ghana Gospel had been subdued. And so everybody rooted behind Joe Metto. And so it was like a tin, the bottle had been opened. Joe just made that way, but through the voices of many people, through the voices of so many people. But you know what? Joe Metto is not the only person that carries that unction. There are so many Joe Mettos in Ghana. If you go to Ghana and you hear worship from some of these guys, you would go on your knees and you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. But guess what is happening to most of them? Their giftings are being choked. Nobody's promoting them. Nobody's helping them. If you feel, let me put it this way, if you feel Ghana gospel music has nothing to offer, go to Ghana and go listen to the songs or to some of these worshipers when they lift up worship. But this is where the problem is. The fathers are not promoting them. The fathers are not investing in them. And I can say it because it is the truth. And one thing you know about Sonnie Badu is I'll speak the truth. You can say whatever you want, but you know it is the truth. So you have a worship leader in Ghana serving for 10 years, but nobody has ever called him to say, this is $5,000. Here, we are investing in your gift. You have a worship leader serving for 10, 15 years, and they get so frustrated when they come out with an album as well, which they went into the studio, invested their money to do. It's not well promoted. Even on their album launch, people make promises to them and people fail them. It is the truth.
His ministers.
Okay, I see. Well, he makes a very important point.
Exactly.
I think it's important to encourage, you know, modern
So
musicians.
he also talks about the fact that back in the day, someone introduced Stonebwoy, who is our dancehall artist, to him.
Okay.
He didn't take Stonebwoy serious at that time.
Okay.
In fact, for the way he says it, he regrets not giving Stonebwoy an opportunity to prove himself to him.
Okay.
So because of that, he's opened up to every up-and-coming artist who approaches him. He actually talks about a song that is trending in Nigeria now, and Ekueme, I know that's the title of the song. He talks about the fact that the young man approached him once when he was in Nigeria. He picked a seed, sowed the seed into his hands, and gave him his CD, and he prayed that the guy will release a song that will become the talk of all, and that has happened. And then somebody also threw a question to him on Facebook, because it was live, about his rings. He has love for rings, and the fact that they think that there's some Illuminati somewhere.
Like, for me, I've made a conscious decision. I've made a conscious decision to help people because, and I'll say it in my next video about myself and this top artist now called Stonebwoy. Some of you don't know the real story, and I'll say it in my next video between myself and Stonebwoy, and why he's like a little brother to me now, and why I talk about Stone a lot of times, and why I push him to do a lot of things. Because years ago, many years ago, Stone was introduced to me, and I didn't take him serious many years ago. He will tell you the story, but I'll talk about it another day. So after that experience, I've made a conscious decision to help everybody. The ring you have been wearing, they stands for Illuminati. How about that? The ring I've been wearing, I'll show you where I did it. I love jewelries. It's a blend of ruby, diamond, and gold. I like stones. The green one is emerald stone, diamond, and gold, and it has my initials SB on there. Which part of it is Illuminati? I was telling somebody that what is wrong with Africa or Ghana? Once you're succeeding or doing something that's right, they associate it to juju or something. What is wrong with Africa? If, I don't know those who put whatever they put in rings, but let me tell you, I'm not stupid. If I wanted to go for a ring somewhere, I'd rather put it in my wedding ring. At least that one, if it's in my wedding ring, you can't complain, right? If people do stuff in rings, I don't know who does it, but listen to me. This is how you detect the fake from the real. Anything that is not of God never lasts long.
Okay.
It's quite strange, though. I mean, for a man of God to be wearing so many rings. I mean,
Is it?
yes, it
It's
is.
fashionable. People,
Really?
he loves fashion. That's the
Men
thing
of
about
God
it.
are supposedly not to be flaunting.
Like he said, it's a
seen to be
colloquial
flaunting.
mentality.
Okay.
Now we are in
The
very
modern
modern times.
I
Okay, so let's move away from Sonnie Badu and talk about Papi Kojo when he was on the Cosmopolitan with Doreen Ando on Monday.
Okay.
He talked about Yvonne Nelson, but more importantly, he had a message for Obrafo, who he claims had been ignoring him for a while. Now let's throw back to that interview.
Obrafo to when I met Obrafo.
Obrafo should have definitely gotten you numb for a couple of days.
When I met Obrafo,
Did you pinch yourself?
I just fell, and I begged him to work on me. Like, please, just work on me. I just want you to work on me, Obrafo. And he was laughing. I was like, you have no idea. You think I'm playing? Just work on me, Obrafo. Like he thought I was playing, but yeah. And that's the thing with Obrafo. He knows how much I love him. You know, he knows. Like there are videos of me on my Instagram when I was 10 years old rapping Obrafo. So he knows very much. I'm a little bit upset with Obrafo.
Why?
So he talks about Obrafo not picking his calls, the fact that, you know, he was supposed to perform at the Ghana Music Awards with Obrafo, and Obrafo didn't show up. So today we are marking Founders Day, and Obrafo was part of the musicians, or who was a musician who was on bill for the celebration of the Founders Day. And guess what? After the interview with Multimedia, after blowing the story up, he gets to perform with Obrafo. Let's see excerpts from their performance.
Chagana Massa Muncie, Mini, or Bravo, Wahudi, Colomani, Kunudi, who say, Yana Assassi, a Yabody Demaye, Ojana Nana Kudia to Omaye, Dumye, Duayen, Jay, a Duke, many Musus against me, Yata, so Moma, Sokata, so May, Moody, Emmas, and then, if you said, why a mangana, because boy, a full doctor for my Mibisa Ness, if we're ready for ever, for my Mibisa Fita, for Equa, for Taylor, for my Mibisa Baba, for soldier, for teacher, for my Mibisa Suku, for Bravo, Gana rap so for the semester a month for Milamoya Baku, to say it's a Faku, Pio is a Yubakolebu, who come from Embu, Koya Sate Kotoko, Kumakumba is the motto, Yampako to Loto, Amy Bosana is a winner to Basana Humbasi, winning the Damon Koto, Babu just said the wage and the winning, Unkwana so I was a siso into Muya Brebre, Ghana and Menodia. I let's do this. Trade upon Kwame and Sam, or Sonnie Assassin and Sam. Nanano Musama for and Sam. The Kwame Kuma Fire, Gayam Kwame and Sam, or Sonnie Assassin and Sam.
I actually spoke to Obrafo's manager, and he says that, you know, they would rather settle the issues, you know, as family. They didn't even have any issue with him, but whatever the case was at that time and why they couldn't show up to perform with Papi, they would have a private discussion with him. So this is one of the moves to let everyone know that Obrafo has no issues with Papi.
It's interesting that he was featured at that program to mark Founders Day, though.
And because of the song that you mean Obrafo, because of the song that he performed. That was a song that hailed the works of Kwame Nkrumah and Ghana. Exactly. So it was a song that was even titled after Kwame Nkrumah. So I guess is the reason that he was there. He was also given a book by Kwame Nkrumah's daughter. I remember that he had posted that on his Instagram. So that'll be for entertainment, and I hope that we get more results with the stories that we churn out.
The ever delectable Miss G, Entertainment General. Always glad to see you.
I know. Thank you.